Hey guys, how's it going? The Bosch here. Alright, so today we're going to be doing an analysis of my tryout game on Maokai. To preface this a little bit, we're not going to be going over a ton about like CS and stuff like that. I do miss a lot of it, and I attribute a lot of the small mistakes and sort of stuff like this to stress, but there's obviously no excuse, so we're going to be going over a lot of the mistakes and ways we could have improved this game, and maybe if a good player too if there's any. But yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, just right off the bat, we can look at the starting items. So on Maokai, generally either Doran's Shield, Doran's Ring, and here we went for Doran's Shield because of the Gnar. The Gnar's going to end up like poking us, doing a lot of little damage, and hopefully the Doran's Shield will actually help keep us pretty healthy throughout these exchanges. We could go for an early back here in terms of itemization and get Doran's Ring if we want a little bit of extra lane pressure and actually sustain because of the Doran's Ring passive with the mana regen basically. But I believe this game we do go Bramble Vest, no Doran's Ring, because Bramble Vest is ridiculously strong in a Gnar, and you can actually win the 1v1, win some trades with Bramble Vest before he gets his Black Cleaver completely. And so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it as the blue team starts an invade. So we're speeded up. What actually happens is we see the entire team bot side here. So our entire team picks it out. We see them bot side, 5-man stack. I don't move here. What we should have had me do, or what I should have done myself, is have me go in to the enemy jungle and place a deep ward somewhere over here, deep inside the jungle, probably either on the wolf camp or actually like over here in particular, so that we could tell, because the ward will expire quite quickly, we need to get that vision when the guy, the Gragas, is coming across to do his blue side camps. So it would have been optimal for me, as soon as you see the 5-stack, to immediately rush down there, go grab some vision in that side of the jungle. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, and I just stay put. So keep it sped up. We're going to end up seeing just me sit in the bush. I'm going to actually move up to try to get a little bit of cheese possibly if the Gnar ends up coming up. Gnar walks in the lane, starts auto-attacking some minions here. And I wait in that bush, and I get a little cheeky Q off. He misses his boomerang. Alright, whatever, it's a decent trade. He actually misses his boomerang there, which is massive. Could force a little bit of extra damage. I end up just going for some CS there. In the Gnar matchup early on, especially before he gets ranks in his queue, it's very important if he misses that boomerang that's an optimal time to trade if possible. Otherwise, you can sort of move up on the minion wave and assert yourself a little bit more than you usually would. I'm going to Bramble Smash and trying to get some damage off also through the minion wave so that we end up poking him down as well as getting some creeps. We're going to see me actually misuse the Bramble Smash a couple times this game, as I miss not only the creeps, but also I don't think I get very much poke off on him through it. So he gets level 2 here, because I wasn't auto-attacking the creeps a ton. So once he gets to level 2, if he plays up, if the Gnar plays up a lot, because he has the hyper passive, he could easily force me off the minion wave. He tries to do that early on. I end up getting a Bramble Smash, a little bit of poke off. I end up taking a little bit too much damage. Probably should have backed off for a little bit there and given him the level 2, because he's killing the creeps so fast that he's not freezing it at all. So he's not denying me any creeps. So it's going to push towards me, so I can just back off, and none of the creeps will die here. So the creeps end up bursting in the tower, whatever, and Gnar goes vision. I get free lane here for a little bit. This is about the time the Gragas would normally be top, but because I'm pushed in, I don't have to worry about a thing. I'm Maokai, sitting back, just going to get my farm. I end up, like I said, missing a bunch of last hits. We're not going to cover that a lot right now, but that is something that A, I could have improved on, and B, I also attribute a lot to nerfs. I end up moving forward here, which doesn't make very much sense to me in retrospect, considering Gnar can easily get that 3-stack punish off, and of course he's level 3 as well, so me moving up on this is not very good at all. I get the heal off, so I'm fine, but I would much rather have the passive off on no damage. So we're going to just go focus on some CS here for a little bit. Gonna end up speeding up a little bit. As we watch me sort of fight for the creeps, I end up getting a little bit of CS there with the Bramble Smash. I'm going to lose a bunch of CS to the tower here, I believe. as I mess up almost all of it. And so, of course, in this lane, yeah, Zach could come top, and we could actually probably kill the Gnar because of I can lock him down for the E. But I tell my team, hey, I think it's important to get bot lane or mid ahead this game. I'm fine to just CS under tower, whatever. Unfortunately, I'm not doing that so hot, but, you know, I'll be fine. I'm not going to get solo killed or anything at this point. So Gnar's continuously shoving me in. He doesn't stop. And so I'm just giving free farm under tower. He's going to end up W'ing me there. I could have either W'd or just played it back more because I wasn't going to get that CS anyways. I end up missing like every single CS here. I actually go for the trade here because I have my minion wave coming in and he doesn't. So he's going to take more damage off my minion wave if he ends up staying for a fight whatsoever. He ends up taking a couple auto attacks and a little bit of creep aggro, I think, but not much. Goes mini Gnar, and I'm giving a little bit of presence back in the lane. So at this point, it's a good point to ask, alright, what about Gragas? For me, I'm not worried about Gragas whatsoever. If he comes top, I can easily avoid the gank. Probably not even burn flash, but if the Gragas for some reason flashes on me, Gnar flashes on me, whatever it may be, I can definitely flash out. It's not a problem. I don't even have to worry about vision. I would probably, if the Gnar was playing a little bit more aggressive, I would likely try to get some of the creeps that are about to die pushed out. Like I would kill them, and then I'd move down for some vision while the creep wave is starting to get low again. But instead I can just sit here comfortably because I don't need to worry about Gragas gank. It's not like he's really going to gank me anyways in this matchup. We're going to speed it up a little bit as we just keep on trading back and forth. And at this point, we hear Zach come up. He's talking to comms. He's like, alright, we're going to go in for this. And so he asks for me to root him down. I root down the Gnar. He flies in with his E. Gnar's about to get his jump off, and we actually interrupt it. What happens here is he Qs and then auto attacks the Gnar twice. Like, he Qs and then auto attacks the Gnar right after, which in turn only slows Gnar instead of smacking him against the creeps, which could help us kill him. But it's okay. We got pushed off, we got flash. We can actually shove in this minion wave because we know Gnar's going to back. If Gnar was going to stay, I could end up denying all the CS. But no, we're just going to hard shove the lane. And hopefully deny some creeps if Gnar doesn't TP. Or we get Gnar's TP out. You get first blood bot lane. We know Gragas is bot. We have no problem about pushing this out and playing pretty aggro for the next like couple seconds while we push and wait for Gnar to TP. We see Gnar TP because we see him catch the wave, so we know it's a good time to back. At this time, we should have enough for Bramble Vest, as you can see. Bramble Vest, probably 2 pots and a control ward. It's about goodbye. So hopefully get some vision up top side and ultimately keep us safe through some of those trades. We see that Gnar picks up the longsword, ruby crystal, and boots. So actually in this matchup at this point in time, the Maokai and Gnar, if you can dodge some of the Gnars, particularly if you're fighting the Gnar in Mega Form, if you dodge 1 or 2 of the Gnar's spells in Mega Form, you can actually outtrade the Gnar and win the engagement if you have Bramble Vest. We're going to see me actually misplay the matchup and end up dying solo kill here in a while. But for right now, Gnar's going to end up trying to slow push the wave. As you can tell, it's a little bit different. He's not straight up auto-attacking every single creep in the same manner. He's just trying to hold the wave a little bit, ends up slow pushing it towards me. But I'm not worried about Gragas right now because we saw him bot lane. I'm walking a lane. I end up getting some little vision up here. I put my control ward down. Zach's actually going to try to return gank. Zach's only level 4, so I don't really think this is a great idea. But I'm like, hey, Gnar's flashes down. We could definitely go for a kill. What we don't know is that Gnar has this warded, so as I'm playing up a little bit, Gnar throws a boulder at him. Gnar probably actually could have waited here, because he could have baited Zach in, just kept wasting Zach's time, but instead he does reveal that he has vision, and Zach's forced to go back to base or go back to farming. And so the wave pushes towards me. I'm happy to go ahead and CS this wave. As I sit here, pretty much forced almost under tower. I start wave clearing the wave a little bit. I don't want to get too big of a wave, because if it gets too big of a wave, yes, Gragas will dive me. I think I can take Gragas 1v2 with Maokai because he's pretty strong and go invulnerable and stuff like that. Untargetable, rather. But, yeah, it's still a caution of mine to clear out that wave a little bit. So, we sort of get a little couple times where we get out-traded a little bit. He's starting to get a couple 3-stack procs off me, and he is taking a little bit of return damage, but I do have to watch it. I see it, that's just free one. Moving up for a creep is not worth that 3-stack proc there. I do have 2 potions. I already was chugging 1. I'm going to go for the engagement here because I am pretty strong. My Bramble Vest is pretty strong. I get my heal off, and he's only going to get 1 3-stack off on that fight. Boom, I win that trade. Easy. Now, I have to make sure I don't overcommit because he's going to go Mega here. He's going to get some health back, and he's going to have his stun and both stuns, rather. So Gnar moves up, tries to clear the wave. Gnar's actually going to go for the stun here. He's going to miss the stun against the wall, just throw me off. And then I'm going to dodge the boulder. So this is good. Dodge the boulder. I can go in. I can probably get some free damage here because we're going to look. We have my passive off to restore some health. Yeah, I could definitely win this trade, but I can't win the fight. That's important to know here, is that I do not win this 1v1. The way that Bramble Vest works against Gnar right now in this situation is I'm going to be able to chunk him out a ton, but I'm not going to be able to kill him at half HP. So I go in. I get a pretty darn good Q off, and boom, auto attack. I should back off at this point. Just back off right here. Because I have ulti up. What that means is I could fall back to tower, and if he wants to be greedy and go for the 3-stack passive under tower, I press ulti, I flash on him, whatever I need to do. But instead I flash out here, he gets 3-stack, and movement speed, runs towards me, and he's able to just walk up and auto attack me for the kill. So terribly played by me in this fight. We're going to see Zach actually come up here. Zach's going to go in. He's going to get the Q and then actually flash auto attack the creep instead of flash auto attacking him. Obvious misplay, but it's okay because we're actually going to get the Gnar kill eventually anyways, because Corki's going to roam up. They're going to finish him off, but worst of all, I don't get an assist. But it is what it is as we continue on. We're going to see me pick up a Ruby Crystal and some boots. So there's a couple things here I could have done. I could have gone Ruby Crystal cloth armor, and I could have not gone the Ruby Crystal at all. I think the Ruby Crystal is crucial here because it gives me a little bit of health for the armor to stack off of, right? So if I have more health, the armor will mean more, in a sense. And then I pick up the boots here actually because at this point in time, okay, I already lost the 1v1. Gnar's going to have Black Cleaver in a back or two. I'm in a pretty bad spot. I could probably hold my own in the 1v1, but the boots not only help me get away from Gnar to an extent, but they also help me avoid Gragas gank, and if I TP somewhere, they help me lock down the enemy team and get around in the team fight, which is really important for me because I want to look to team fight and I want to win this game through team fighting. So I go back to lane. I think I end up just shoving this in pretty hard because I want to try to get the Gnar. I want to try to deny the Gnar stuff if he doesn't show. He ends up showing. At this point, I'm hard pushing the wave. He's just trying to trade into me. He's losing a little bit of health for doing so. He's going to tank the minion wave a little bit. It's whatever. Ideally, I would have shoved this into tower, but he's not playing the matchup very well, so I don't have to worry about him freezing the wave here. If he was a good top laner, he would freeze the wave here and deny me all of the CS pretty much for the next wave. But I know he's not going to. I'm happy to just completely shove it in and go get some vision for myself, clear out, make myself feel a little bit safer. He missed another boomerang, and so on. We end up invading here, trying to get some vision, because once I said he's just straight up pushing the top wave, so I'm fine to go get some vision. I end up seeing Gragas on blue buff, let my team know, and of course I have complete topside vision control. So Gnar's just hard shoving the wave. I move up, I'm going to go around completely because it's not safe to go that way. Yeah. Gnar goes get some vision, I know that. I tell my team, he's got vision on river. And I just move forward. I'm just going to get some CS here. Try to poke him through there. Not going to get the poke through the minion wave here. He's just going to keep hard shoving over and over again. I'm fine with that. I'm going to get my CS. And I can actually, if I keep on hard shoving it back, I can open myself up for TP plays instead of getting stuck under turret here. Because I don't want to be stuck under turret, TP away, and then lose my tower, which is a big thing. So I'm going to go for a little bit of trade here. And so at this point, we see Corki's getting engaged on mid. So I'm hearing through the team that Corki's getting engaged on. I'm looking out. I'm looking for possible TP here. We end up, Corki gets flash hooked. Okay, he's dead. I can't do anything. So I go back to laning. Back to CSing. I'm looking for a TP play bot here now. Although we're still at a numbers disadvantage because Syndra's up and Corki's not. But I don't think the Syndra's going to roam at all, so I'm fine to look for a TP play if possible. Gnar keeps on pushing me in. He's going to end up looking for my pink ward here, I believe. And I'm just going to go end up shoving my wave. Zach's looking for Syndra mid lane. And so we know that Gragas is probably going to collapse on the Syndra. Zach ends up missing his ulti here, and so forth. We're going to poke Gnar a little bit through the minion wave here. We're a little bit down in experience, but hopefully it catches back up in the wave, although he does have the kill on us. And so at this point, we see our team trying to go for a little bit of vision bot side. So we're probably going to look for a bot side TP here, as Corki's roaming down a little bit for bot. We're getting pushed in, so we do want to try to clear this wave out if possible, before the TP. So we see Gnar TPing. We're going to end up hard shoving this out. We have TP. We don't need to TP down, because Gnar pretty much wastes his TP on the tower. We know that at that point that Gnar was channeling his TP, that we're under tower, but we have vision in their jungle to an extent, to the fact and that we know that they are not going to fly into this fight. The worst case scenario is they were all hiding up in here, in this area, in this bush, Syndra and Gragas by that, I mean, and they would come in and join the fight. Luckily we have this pink ward here though, that we know that they're actually back here. So we know that we're fine, our team's fine to disengage, Gnar can't engage on them, and if he did, then he would probably die. So I'm free to go in and push this wave. They're going to ping on Dragon here as we push in the top wave. So I'm starting to get some top priority. As Gnar's straight up roaming back. He doesn't care about trying to force Drake or anything with the team down there. And so I get a free top shove. I think I'm actually going to try to get a back in here. I might have enough for Thornmail, which would be pretty big for a fight. I end up getting Wardens and another pink ward. Now we see bot. We see what's going on bot. We have our Zac going down, looking to get some vision. Gragas is actually here, and then we're starting to ping it out. We have Corki on this side, Gragas right here, caught in the middle, and our team's right here. Bot, we can pretty much get the inside track on it because of Sivir, and Syndra's right here, not able to help the Gragas to the best extent. So, we see Zac go in, and then I believe I channel my TP pretty soon. Or they just fight without me, I can't remember. I go back to lane, I try to catch the wave here, because nothing came as a result of the Zac engage. Zac didn't use his ulti or anything, so we just disengage, we let bot back, try to get their items. Bot ends up skirmishing a little bit. And I end up just trying to catch this big wave, trying to shove it in a little bit, get it off my tower. Opens me up for another TP play here. And we're actually going to see a little bit of fight here between me and him. I ended up getting chunked out a little bit. Now what I want right now is I want to get to that 600 gold. I want that Thornmail. So we're going to try to keep CSing here. And we are going to get pushed around a little bit at this point. Just because the Gnar is pretty abusive with his Q at this point and get those auto attacks off. I try to shove him in a tower, get a couple cheeky auto attacks off and tower shots. We're going to get him slowed, take a little bit more damage. Not a big deal. Matchup's pretty even as I hit level 10. I'm down a little bit in experience because of the kill, which is pretty annoying. We're going to shove that in, and he's going to try to push me in more, but I just keep getting it off the tower. I have my pink ward, so I know I'm not going to get dove or anything like that. And we have vision of Syndra almost the entire time, so I don't have to worry about a 3-man gank up top. So Gnar, he just keeps hard shoving every single time he gets back in the lane. Hard shove, hard shove. So we end up getting Zac up here. Zac's going to go for the gank. I lock him down again. Same thing. I just W him down. Zac waits for the jump, and then boom. We get the jump. He misses the Q. And so I pop my ulti, but we're not going to get him. Zac ends up getting his flash because he flashes for himself. Gragas shows up top. And then that means that we can probably make a play on bot if we need. But Gnar ends up showing top here again as I try to freeze the wave. Did a 9R. So Gnar's a little bit scared because he just saw Zac top. He doesn't have vision. He's going to play a little bit farther back. What we actually start to see is Syndra contest over Corki and Gragas area. And so we see Syndra end up bursting Corki. The Gragas flash come out, but we get the Corki package for Gragas flash. Not too bad. This matchup's fine right now. Gnar's probably going to go in for the trade, but it's fine. I can absorb almost all of it because I'm almost completed Thornmail. I have a lot of AD, or armor rather. So once again, I'm still looking for the TP play bot lane. I'm trying to force something. I'm holding the wave here because I know Gnar doesn't want to back right now, and I want to try to punish him. Because if he was backed, I'd just hard shove in the wave, force that TP out, or force him to lose CS. I end up trading a little bit here, which is a little bit concerning because he does have level 11, but I am able to trade into the mini Gnar quite well. I really want to hard shove this wave in though soon and try to get my Thornmail, because it's a big purchase for me in this matchup, and in this game in particular. So I am going to try to get it back in here, but Gnar also wants to back, so boom, perfect for me. I'm going to get a reset wave for the most part, but Gnar ends up actually shoving it in. I get Thornmail, Gnar shoves it in. I actually get Merc Treads too, which is going to help a ton for the Gragas and Syndra damage. So we start to see a play go down bot. We start to see Alistar go in a little bit. We're fighting under tower. Alistar headbutts the Gragas out. Alistar pops ulti. I'm watching for TP. Gnar is too, though. Our team's fighting around there. But Zac just goes towards Dragon area. We see Syndra on the ward again. And it's not too bad. Corki's pushed in mid. I see Gnar, so I'm free to hard push in top if I can in time. I'm going to try to hard push it in, but I don't think I will. I think it's going to be at the exact time. So, we see our team start to get collapsed on a little bit, but our team sandwiches them so that they are a little bit nervous and they don't want to engage on us. I'm able to hard shove in top, so hopefully loses some creeps to tower as I get a little more control over top lane. But honestly, at this point, I just need a TP play because I can win the team fights. I'm really strong with Thornmail. I want to force the fight, and I can't, like, I would need a Zac gank right now, and it's not worth it. It's better to force a big fight. So, they see us on the ward bot, but we're looking to force bot at this point. So our Zac's about to go in. Our Zac charges up, and we're just trying to force tower. We get first tower because our bot lane's been pushing the entire time, and so we come out with that big gold advantage for first tower. Gnar goes in on us. We're expecting the W. We end up just dodging out the W. He ends up throwing a Q on us. We're just healing up. Plenty fine. We're fine for the 1v1 right now. At this point in time, we should back up because we have the full minion wave coming, and he is still level 12. He has ulti. So we're gonna go in, and that's actually a really bad time to press W on him because he does still have his ulti up. He's gonna get his ulti up on us. He's gonna get the mini Gnar and actually an extra wallop off on us. So we get our ulti off to try and run away. We do have flash still, so ulti off, boom. We should flash right now. To be honest, as soon as he throws that boomerang, we should be flashing because we know our team right now is under. We're trying to get that Drake, but we did already chunk out Gnar, so we don't have to worry about that so much. Instead, we're going to get 3 stacked here and die under tower because we're holding the flash. Just flash away at this point, or just walk away. We don't need to try and re-engage because what I actually did try to do is I tried to re-engage. Here we go back a little bit. Click on the Maokai for stats. So we do get the heal off here. So we got the heal off there, so it's going to be another 30 seconds on less spells, so that's 25 there. And then me getting off 1 spell, that's 20. And so going in, that's 15. But we don't have the passive up yet. And so that's a terrible trade to take. Just absolutely awful. Should have just backed up, not even maybe flash if necessary because he doesn't have flash. But anyways, I just give that up, and I could TP to the fight or whatever I need to do after backing. It's just fine if I don't take that fight. Instead, though, we end up dying, but we do make it a 4v4 because we chunk him out. He's not able to join the fight, and our team just wins the dragon contest. So our team looks for a little bit of mid control. Corki's fighting on Syndra, and yeah, Corki ends up flashing, and they try to engage on us here. So let's go back down to regular. So Gragas misses his ulti. We're able to dodge out the hooks and whatnot. Gnar pushed in my wave, but I'm going to end up TPing top here to make sure we don't lose that tower. I'm going to shove it out here. And in terms of itemization, I ended up starting to go for Righteous Glory because I view Syndra as not a threat this game. I feel like Corki has nullified her pretty well, and I do have Merc Treads for Syndra and Gragas. So I am going to try to go for that Righteous Glory, shut down the Gnar and Tristan in terms of damage, and also for that engage potential. We're going to see them go for Rift Herald here. So I'm trying to get a little bit of vision. We don't actually see them doing it. They get it for free, I'm pretty sure. We end up trying to hard shove this wave in because we don't know where Gnar is. They end up getting Rift Herald. I know I have to back out soon, so I hard shove the wave and then back off. Gragas shows top, takes my sapling. I end up calling for a little bit of help up top because we do see the Rift Herald on the Gragas. And so we're going to keep hard shoving it in because we don't know where we see Gnar mid, rather. We end up using Corki package mid. A little bit of pressure gone. We're going to end up trying to roam down here, I think. So we end up trying to roam down, try to make a play. And so we see the Gnar go in, ends up failing his combo. So I'm calling to engage. We know 2 members here. We don't have control over here, but we do know, as we can see, let's go back 15 seconds. We did see Trist bot, so we know Trist is bot. And we saw Gragas top, so he probably either backed or ran through all of this jungle, about the same pace as me. So we're going to look for a 5v5 or 5v4 here, at the best, possibly a 5v3. And so our team engages. We have pretty much everyone here. Silver speed allows everyone to group up, and I'm going to walk into the fight, zone everyone out for the most part. Might end up pressing ulti here, I'm not sure. We're just going to force them off. We're going to try to go for this mid tower. Corki ends up getting hooked. We're a little bit worried. But without anyone on their team committing, we're fine. We're going to try to hard force this tower down. They end up getting a little bit of priority. Sivir gets booted around. And Alistar ends up taking damage, pops his ulti, and we're forced off. So, my call is go back up top. I'm going to end up roaming back up top. Go get my farm. Or FC bot. They're staying mid. They're probably going to go for the mid tower. And so at this point, our team, we called it. We said, all right, they're going to use Rift Herald to get mid, and then from that point, we're going to end up counter pushing mid. That's what we said. They're going to back off mid after the first tower, and we're going to counter push mid because we don't have to worry about first tower gold. All we need is that tower. So we end up getting the Rift Herald used on our mid tower, and then when we end up, I roam down because we know that Gnar how to deal with that top wave. He does have TP, but we're going to go ahead and just counter push it. We know they're going to reset it back. We stop the Syndra back, and we end up just going for the tower and get the counter push. I'm going to go back up top, try to catch the wave from Gnar, but Gnar's going to have to get in this tower probably. Gnar ends up TPing behind. And so we see Corki end up having to deal with the Gnar. But we're fine. Gnar can't do anything because he wasn't mega by the time he got out of the TP and stuff. So we end up fine pushing out our wave. We're going to try to get a little bit more towards our Righteous Glory at this point. Our side of the map is pretty good. They could have forced this bot tower probably with like Tristana and whatnot, but we end up forcing this wave out. We're going to push the wave back towards them, and we should have good pressure over the map. And so even though the game's stat-wise right now, 3-3, it looks even. I feel really strong because Tristana and Gnar really can't touch me for the most part, unless it's a super long engagement. Syndra won't be able to burst me, and Syndra isn't very strong in general right now. We have a Sivir with 2 items, which is crazy strong, and a Corki with Trinity Force at this point. And our Zac and myself and Alistar, boom, we're all tanky front lines. We're able to hold that on anything right now. So, we feel pretty confident in any push, or any fight that we might want to take. We're going to end up seeing Gnar top. My team ends up calling, hey, they're going to come top on you because no one else is on the map. So I'm like, alright, I'll just back off. I'm good. I flash because I see the hook coming. Just sort of bad positioning on my part, but also we do bring up 4 people top lane. Not perfect, but not the worst thing in the world at the same time. I'm going to go back. I'm going to end up getting my, what's it called, the Glacial Shroud. Try to get that Righteous Glory. And we're going to end up calling out the Ocean Drake, because Ocean Drake's coming up soon. So I'm starting to walk in between the lanes a little bit. I have TP. I'm looking for a play. We know bot lane's pushing, so I'm calling for Dragon Control at this point in time. We've got 30 seconds left on Dragon. We have our Sivir top lane. We try to call for her to come down. She ends up trying to run down. We're going to try to get some Skull Crab, a little bit of control down here. And we end up seeing the Thresh and Syndra over here. Thresh going in on the hook onto the creeps. Going in on Sivir. Sivir ends up popping ulti here. And Corki and Alistar and all of them are free to re-engage. Our Zac ends up diving in there. And so at this point, we see where our team comp thrives. So, our Zac goes in. He ends up throwing Gragas and Thresh together. I end up blocking down Gnar. I'm calling out Gnar, because Gnar is the only target in the front line that's pretty valuable to their team. So, our Zac like abducts Mr. Gragas. Gragas flashes away. We're trying to burst down Gragas a little bit. I try to help the back line out as Gnar goes down towards these. Gnar's trying to take out the Corki. And so as Gragas goes back in, Gragas is going to fall down, and Gnar's going to mega out. I see Gnar megging out, and I saw that he's not going to be able to kill both of them right away. He might be able to kill the Corki though. And so I'm like, all right, at this point, instead of trying to save Gnar, I think it's more important, or instead of trying to save Corki rather, I think it's more important to save our then 2-0 but now 3-0 Sivir for sustained damage in the team fight. So I know that Alistar is full HP. I turn along with the Sivir, and we turn over on Tristana, get our flash, and we end up getting the kill here with the Q, or the auto attack. So we end up shoving down. I honestly think that the Corki's dead at this point, but the Gnar's focused on the Zac. So I go ahead and go towards helping Zac. And I know that he's in blobs. I can help with TP. I end up saving him with TP. And he gets the stun off, and we're able to get the lockdown to save the, the Zac. And end up killing the Gnar in return. So not too bad. We end up splitting up in the team fight, but we're able to deal with both of the threats on each side of the team fight quite well, and ultimately win the fight. So we go in here, we're going to push for Inhib Tower, because their entire team's dead except for Thresh. Should be a free Inhib Tower at the least, and it looks like we have long death timers, so it's a free Inhib as well. And because we were able to force that fight in mid, we were able to get all of that off the rest of it. And then we're also going to turn to get Ocean Drake. But one of the important callouts we made here is that our team said, alright, because we're basically resetting, but also taking longer to get back because of Dragon, we need to make sure they don't get Baron here. Because a common play is straight up after losing like an inhib or something, if the other team's going to take a long time to reset, you can rush that Baron down. Granted, they have a Tristana that's far behind, and a Syndra, and a Gnar that might be able to help out. It's not really going to mean a lot. So, we end up setting Corki back, and we actually end up sending Sivir back too, I believe, because we're worried about the Baron. See, look at that Baron. They send us at least establishing some control. We're worried about them starting it, but we end up sending Alistar over there, and we end up taking care of that. Because we end up looking at the Dragon, we're like, alright, it's an Ocean Drake. We don't have to take it right now. We have a lot of pressure in this game. We can end up having our mid lane naturally shove in, and I shove in bot, and we'll be able to get that Ocean Drake. So that's exactly what we do. We end up getting a little bit of pressure here. We're end up going to send both me and Alistar back. Our Zac's still playing around Dragon a little bit. Unfortunately here, we would have liked, and definitely would have been better to establish a lot of Baron control. But we had just sent Alistar back. He has to get wards and stuff, so we don't have the kind of resources at the moment. Our Zac's going to end up starting up Dragon. Gnar's pushing in bot, so we have to worry a little bit, but he's not even going to show towards the Dragon. He ends up being seen on my sapling, and all four of us are going to go for Dragon while Corki pushes top. Now, Corki was pushing top while we had no vision of this area, so obviously that's very dangerous, but it worked out. We end up calling for Baron control at this point in time because we're showing 2 bot with no TP. Fortunately, they're all back. We've seen some of the 2 people in mid lane. We're end up just going to try to starve them of the resources here by getting things like red buff as they get a little bit of Baron control, because we can always walk over to Baron at this point and help out with, or help get some control. So we're going to send Alistar over there. He ends up getting engaged on rather, but they don't end up doing anything. We're fine. We just walk away. And so they all group up in mid lane. That gives us the opportunity to have our carries reset. And so they're going to reset real quick. And we're going to try to clear out a little bit of this vision, me and him, although I don't have very many tools to do that. I just have to establish a little bit of my own. We have Gnar pushing top. I can't really match him all that well, so I'm just going to wait till he backs away from the wave. I'm going to go for it. And we have our Alistar engage on Gragas, force him away from the area. We see Gnar on the ward. So we're calling out that I can collapse on it. I can collapse on that ward right there in particular, or that ward behind. And I end up just walking down. We pop Sivir ulti. I'm saying go, go, go. I can collapse. We end up getting Thresh hooked on Alistar, but Alistar can tank that up. Sivir's in the middle of the fight, but I'm throwing down my roots to cut them off completely. So as we start to collapse, our Sivir ends up flashing and healing because he's in the middle of the fight. He has to deal with the Syndra and whatnot. He gets completely shut down because he's in the middle of the fight, not behind carries. But we're able to probably clean this up anyways because I'm dropping my roots down on the entire team. Everyone's going to get hit by these. And so we hit the Tristan on the side. I say, go for Gnar, go for Gnar. We end up getting Gnar here. And Gnar tries to ult us that, but it's not going to matter. I have flash here too. But I end up flashing completely terribly, but we still get the kill because the rocket, I believe, followed him. And we end up just locking down Gragas, and we can probably make the play for Baron. Gragas flash, say turn for Baron. And just immediately go straight for it. So they can't contest. We end up going to push top. Get the free top tower. We say, hey, we can probably go for the next one at this point in time, but then we realize, hey, nope, they're all up. It's really risky to go for that. So we feel super strong at this point in time. We have a 5-1 Sivir, 3-1 Corki, 1-0 what's Zach, and then me and Alistar are pretty darn tanky as well. So we end up resetting. I'm starting to build a little bit of AP, or MR rather, to deal with the AP threat of Syndra and kind of Gragas. And we're going to end up resetting. We got bot tower off that push with the Baron wave. And we're going to end up trying to force their base open. We have Gnar pushing top, so I'm going to run top with my TP. And I end up TPing to the wave here. Now, we're going to look back a couple seconds here before loading up to it. So at this point in time, I immediately start channeling my TP because I'm like, we should just hard force this turret down. We should try to get our advantage. We need to break open the inhibitor. We can force the 5v5. We win 5v5. So I TP to the minion that's taking aggro, obviously to try and make it so that we can engage. And then from here, optimal plan is just go for tower, burn down tower. If anyone's close enough, we engage on them. But if not, we can just hard force inhibitor. They end up engaging on us. Thresh gets carried deep into our back line. I'm holding off. I'm zoning 3 people right now while Gnar's TPing in the back line. Alistar sees Gnar TP, ends up going for Gnar, and we end up locking down Thresh, and I'm just holding off the front line, or their back line rather, and we begin to deal with Gnar. Grasping Roots are coming out. We end up trying to force for inhibitor. And we should end up getting both inhibs quite easily. Now at this point in time, we have 2 options. With 1 person down, we could force for the end, but it's Thresh. With Thresh up, or with Thresh down, we feel like it's not that safe. We're probably going to just reset, try to get our waves pushing, and go for that top tower. So at this point in time, we need to make sure that we clear out all of their vision in our jungle, and we need to sort of starve them inside their own base. We need to make them turtle it up, and then we need to make sure that our side waves, or our mid wave and our bot wave, are pushing so that we can force that top tower. We have a nice wave top pushing towards us, so we're gonna end up getting that wave pushed out and then go all the way down with it. We have getting the reset on everyone. I'm gonna end up backing. I'm gonna come out of the base. I'm gonna start running down. I say, hey, I'm gonna help push out the mid wave and then come top with y'all. I end up seeing the mid waves pushing already naturally with the super minions, and I end up coming with the team. At this point in time, it's a little bit risky to use the package right away. I'm calling for people to wait because I don't have flash. I got to get there. I have Righteous Glory up, though, so I should be able to join the fight as soon as I can get close enough. What we really want to do here is we want to lock down the Gragas if he's out, or not, the Gnar if he's outside the base. We can blow up anyone outside the base and then work our way in. But yeah, there's a couple options here. We end up getting our Corki hooked, rather, which is pretty bad for us. And they end up engaging 5-man on a Corki. So our Sivir is rushing over with ulti, and our Alistar and me are quite far behind. So at this point in time, we're just telling our team to wait for us. We're still running. Our Zac engages in towards the base, and our Sivir is running into the base. At this point, I'm running with the Alistar still. And our Sivir is really deep inside the base. Our Alistar ends up coming in the fight. Tries to help out over here. At this point, I'm calling, hey, I'm just going to go for tower. I realize I don't have enough creeps, so I got to go help my team, try to keep them alive. So I assess, and at this point, I think that going for Triss is the best option here. I look at my tower just to say I can't go for Triss because Zac might die. I'm going to go for tower, but then I peel back off. I'm like, wait, what? Sivir's actually doing damage. What I definitely should have been doing is helping Sivir peel her, because how strong she is, she's able to just nullify all of their tanks, because just so strong at this point in time. So I help lock down Tristana. We go for Gnar here, but we don't kill Gnar. And we end up having the Sivir here with the quadra kill. We end up looking for the Penta. We dive Fountain, whatever. We don't end up getting it. Whatever, gives Gnar some extra kills, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's watch this part, because this is really important for this next fight, because even though we do win, I play extremely poorly, and there's definitely ways we could have improved it. So, we end up going back. We know our waves are going to push naturally, so we go back to this top. At this point in time, we have a little bit of vision inside the base. I can see the Gnar and the Syndra. And so, let's see. So let's look at it from our point of view. We can see Syndra, Gnar, and Thresh. So, I feel pretty fine to be up like this. I have a Spectre's, I have a completed Spirit Visage, so I'm pretty tanky on that front, and I have plenty of armor. But I start getting chunked out by Gnar. He does percent HP. I put down the pink ward, and then they start chunking me out just over and over again. I get hooked, and I'm starting to feel a little bit sweaty. At this point in time, without a flash, I should probably engage on the Syndra. Let's move this real quick. Because we know that she doesn't have flash. What I end up doing is I engage on Gnar because it's close to target and I'm taking too much damage. Not too bad. Probably could have made it all the way to Syndra though. And so my entire team piles on. At this point in time, I should definitely, if I learned anything from the last team fight, is either A, go for Tristana because Syndra just used her ulti, or B, peel the heck out of Sivir. Because Sivir's been doing all the damage, we need to make sure she stays alive. So what I end up doing is I just pop my ulti, I run back, I go try to help Sivir. I end up getting thrown away, and I go on an Gnar, I get my heal off, I'm just going to help peel this Gnar and kill him. With me in the front line and Alistar, Sivir's just going to live and kill everybody. So we're fine. We start running it down and whatnot. But we're fine, we win the game. So we're just going to go back real quick, and before we end this, we're going to take a look at how I messed up there in particular. Because that's a possible game-losing play right there. So I'm coming down pretty much by myself on this side. We see Gnar here, and we end up seeing Syndra. So that's a good amount of their damage, and I'm starting to play up. But my team can't join me. They're all waiting on the minion wave. And what is our goal here? Our goal, we outline our goal to be kill the turret. We just need to kill the turret, let the minions push into the base, overwhelm them, and win the game. We don't need to mess around. We don't need to go for kills or anything. So at this point in time, why am I over here? Aside from maybe this concept of zoning them, it doesn't really make much sense. But even zoning them, like, I can't do that against a Gnar here and a Syndra. So at this point in time, it's really just stupid for me to be here. Instead, I could be with the team, helping to push down the turret, maybe playing off to the side right here in this area, but not over in this corridor. This corridor gets me killed. And what we'll actually later end up seeing is that this part right here with Thresh playing up is pretty bad for me as well. But so I take free damage here for nothing. We can't engage on that. Like, what am I doing here? So I end up getting free hook. The hook, okay, that's not too bad. They're going to end up piling a little bit of damage on me. Tristana's over the wall. That's pretty bad. But hey, I'm able to go invulnerable. I'm able to get a lot of heals off, and we're fine. But ultimately, what is my positioning in this last team fight doing for the team? Yeah, sure, this ulti's pretty good. It cuts off, or it cuts over almost all of them. But me coming over into this area in the first place is just a pretty terrible idea. If I was here and I threw my ulti this way, they would have to completely leave this turret or get rooted. And we would just have a free tower and probably push for inhib and just quite literally, even without killing anybody, go for Nexus and win the game. Instead, I turn it into a brawl, and honestly, that's a possible game-losing play if it doesn't turn out our way. Fortunately, this game does, and we're left with the end result of us winning the game. Alright. So when looking at this replay, there's a couple things that we noticed that, okay, sure we won, but there are improvements to be made. Namely, the 2 solo kills on me, and this last team fight misplay, where my positioning is just a total boon for the enemy team. Now, the 2 solo kills are completely avoidable. Playing around Bramblebest in particular is something that's pretty unique, and I need to be able to do. Not committing 100% to fights, where even being greedy with my flash there too. Just small little mistakes. Obviously, sometimes due to nerves, but largely can be avoided with just practice and identifying the mistakes. Now here, this last team fight, very easy. Just identify the goal when you move to a situation, and especially when moving as a team in a unit. What is our goal in this situation? We've already gotten the other 2 inhibs. We don't need to establish pressure anywhere else. The minions will actually do that for us. So, what do I need to do? I need to be with the team. I need to be in the front line, but in a position where the team can assist me. So, I should have been definitely closer to our team up front, and I could have actually just used my ulti to completely zone off the enemy team from the turret on the next minion wave. But thank you for joining me. Hopefully this wasn't too much of just like a commentary on the game, and hopefully this is the first step of turning into an analysis of the gameplay, and hopefully I can make improvements. Please let me know what I can improve on in terms of the analysis part in particular, and thank you so much for watching.